What is up, everybody? This is Joshua Swope from my good old city of Fort Collins, Colorado. Not Colorado, Colorado. Hiking up some trail by the foothills outside of where I live. I wanted to go up to Poudre Canyon today, where a lot of natural forest is, but being a business owner, I can't lose sales, so I've got to have my phone everywhere I go. And I've got to have reception during the week. And so I can lose a sale if I don't call somebody back in 5 minutes. And that sale could be anywhere from $100 to $1,000, who knows. But beautiful day. I'm looking for my favorite favorite bird in America, which is the golden eagle. That bird can have a 8-foot wingspan, I believe. I believe the females are bigger than the male. I'm not too sure. I know there's a bird in Africa that looks similar to that, where the where the female is bigger. But as I've been hiking today, I read on Google that one of my favorite climbers in the world, Hans Kammerlander from Germany, finally summited K2. Near Pakistan. It took him 3 different attempts to summit K2. For all you amateurs that don't know what K2 is, K2 is the definitely one of the world's hardest mountains to climb. It is just straight up. It's not as tall as Everest, but I've heard Everest kind of goes around in circles and people can summit. And Everest is so commercialized that I feel like, you know, a lot of people can summit Everest, but they couldn't summit K2. 1 out of 5 people actually die. Statistically, I believe that's a word. I'm not proper with my words when I'm hiking and breathing hard. About 1 out of 5 people die going up or down it. Most of the time people die going down. And so, but Hans Kammerlander, I can't even say his last name. He has climbed, I think, every 8,000 foot peak that's climbable in the world, the best of my knowledge. So congrats to that gentleman. He's a German. I know my old roommate's fluent in German. So Dan, if you read that, you can go read that story. I know you're a K2 fan like I am. But yeah, so today life is good. That can change in a heartbeat with us people that go to AA classes such as myself. And so I'm up here just doing some good old physical and mental freaking therapy. I have to do that every day in order to not jack around, you know? So that's the life of a addict in freaking recovery. And so as I've gotten older, I don't even care what people think about that with my life. I used to hide it a lot. What's the point of hiding it? You know, because if I don't hide it, then I know who my friends are and I know who I don't want around, you know. But the friends I do have, I don't have a ton of them, at least not personal ones. But the ones I do have are pretty badass. You know, they're individuals that no matter where we go, what we do, we don't argue, we don't fight, we do high adventures. Some of us get lost up in Castle Rock. Like I did this summer on our motorcycles. That's the only time I've actually heard my buddy Jason Sandry say the F word. I was lost for 2 hours. He finally got a hold of me on my phone and he goes, "Where the F are you?" And they had told me to go straight and just drive straight to where I was gonna. I gotta slow the foot down. They were riding a single lane track, him and a guy named Ben. And I said, "Hey, I'm tired, I'm hot, I need to go back to my truck." So they said, "Okay, go straight and you'll see your truck." I had no water, I had a leather jacket on, so I was overheated, and I was almost out of gas. So I was going 73 miles an hour. That's top speed of my motorcycle on this dirt road. And I'm actually not gonna hike uphill today. I'm gonna go do an easy hike on this lake over here. But so I'm hauling on this trail because I needed to cool down. It was really hot, you know, and my buddy Jason's like, "Dude, you have a leather jacket on. You don't need you don't need it. And plus you look like a girl." I don't know why he says that, because that jacket's really manly. But so long story short, I realized I had been riding for about almost an hour, and I had been going really fast. And believe it or not, I had a Jeep behind me during that time. He was trying to race me on a mountain road, and I actually saw him go up on 3 wheels trying to keep up with me. Of course, I wasted him, but anyways. So I get to this clearing, the only clearing on this road. I see this large mountain, and I'm like, dude, that mountain is sick. I want to stop. Right when I stopped, I got 4G, and I had 3 lines on my phone of service, which you don't get service anywhere up there. So I found that to be very peculiar, and I was like, you know what? I bet I'm lost. As soon as I stopped, Jason Sander gave me a call, and I'm like, dude, this is not cool. He goes, where the hell are you? And I'm just, well, he said, where the F are you? And I said, I see a really big mountain. And he goes, dude, that's Pikes Peak. You are way far away from your truck. And so I'm like, okay, where is our truck? So none of us were prepared. We didn't have a road map, nothing, if any of us got lost. So we did find out where my truck was parked by using Google Maps together, and it was quite hectic. Both those guys had to be home at a certain time with their wives for dinner or whatever the case was. So of course I ruined that. And so once I found where I was, I went 22 miles one way out of where I was. And I was telling Jason, I was like, hey man, I'm almost out of gas. And so before that, we had already ridden for about 4 hours. So my motorcycle goes about 80 miles on a tank. And so as soon as I went back, on the way back to my truck, I had to have the phone in my crotch area when I was riding my dirt bike and follow that map. So of course I ran out of gas. And this is why when I behave, it's a good thing, because if I get in any trouble, I usually can get bailed out quite easily. We got some deer camera up here. But so right when I ran out of gas, the only camper in that 22 miles was right where I ran out of gas. And I was dying. I mean, I'm a skinny kid already, so I had just sweated all day, and I was god-awful thirsty, if there's such a scenario. And so right when I pulled up, I went to this camp, and these 2 little girls came up to me, whatever, and the camper goes, hey man, what's going on? I said, hey, I'm out of gas, and do you have any water? He goes, yes, I got both. So he filled up my bike, and then I pounded 2 bottles of water in 2 seconds. And then I went and filled up my gas, or my bike where it was on the road. And I went back to the camp, and these little girl comes up to me. She goes, hey Josh, guess what I built? I built a teepee in the woods. So of course I went and looked at their teepee, and the gentleman that filled my bike up, I said, hey man, I'm a carpet cleaner. I own a business in Fort Collins. Where do you live? And he goes, I live in Denver. And I said, well, hey, let me get a hold of the Denver Heaven's Best, and I'll front you a minimum $100 cleaning. And of course he said no. But so then I went hauling back to hook up with Jason and Ben. I did find them, and they're like, dude, that 1-lane track that we went on was only like 5 minutes off the trail. We should have met up with you. And Jason, when can be, of course, a little impatient, just like myself, when stuff doesn't go according to plan, or if you get lost for 2 hours like I was, which, you know, I could see his point. So anyways, that was just a random story. I got plenty of them, but that trip was a blast. And so speaking of that, we've got a trip with all the homies going up to Gould, Colorado. I'm not sure if I said that on a recent video, but if I excuse me, and we're gonna take the bikes out. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm trying to plan my birthday a month in advance. Damn it, sorry fellas and ladies and gentlemen, this freaking lake is private. Oh, this is GAY. All right, I gotta go back. So anyway, so I'm trying to plan my birthday a month in advance. I'm not sure if there's some of you that haven't celebrated a birthday, but try doing that about 7 or 8 years in a row. And personally, I don't think that's good for anybody to attempt. You know, it's depressing. So we're really trying to have fun this year. A couple guys from the ward, I think, are going to go rent some motorcycles in Loveland and you know, we're gonna have a heyday up top. And so there's some property up there that when I get all caught back up with my finances, that I actually want to buy a couple acres up there. I think we can get $1,000 an acre up there. I'm not too sure, but you know, instead of buying a $900,000 piece of crap house in Fort Collins with piss in the carpet and holes in the walls, I'd rather go buy an acre up there and slowly but surely build a house on there when I want, wherever I want. And that'll be mucho bueno for sure, as my brother Dub always says. But yeah, it's a good day for sure. So I plan on hitting a good meeting up today as well. The meetings I go to, there's probably about 40 or 50 people, fellow addicts, and these people have seen life. They've flirted with the foul, whatever, crappy things of life, if you will, and you know, so they need classes to get back on track. And the thing is, the people, once they flirt with that lifestyle, they will have to have a program the rest of their life. I don't care what anybody says. You know, it's just, or at least I will. I'll always have to have a program, and so it's been tough to actually come to that realization. But the thing is it started when I was a kid. I was in 7th grade, having a lot of problems at home, whatever the case is, and so I got my first job at Smoker's Auction. Started smoking cigarettes during that time. I was out fooking around, and so started with that. By the time I hit 9th grade, 10th grade, started smoking bud and staying away from home. I had jobs during that time. I didn't ever have to go home. That was just not a good program that we had at home, on my end or my parents' end, anybody's end. And by 10th grade, still getting good grades, played sports. By 11th grade, my 10th grade summer, we smoked pot every day. Me and a couple of my buddies, ex-friends now. I don't hang out with any of those guys. But then by 12th grade, moved to Utah, and it just got worse. And so, and then of course by high school, 19 years old, I was already partying for a good couple of years. So of course, I was hanging out with older people, and you know, they started doing a lot of rough things, you know, and so of course I followed that scenario. It's not important that I tell everybody what that scenario was, but you just use your imagination. People at party knows exactly what happens when people booze. It's just a lot of crappy things happen. People are stupid when they're drunk. They do stupid things. Alcohol is the biggest gateway drug there is, in my opinion. So times that by the next good couple of years, and hanging out a lot by myself too, which is, you hang out by yourself, that's the devil's playground. And at least for me it is. You know, my head can race, you know, pros and cons with my energy, but if my energy's not tackled, you know, it's just it sucks. I'm just sitting there being jittery, not doing anything. So that's when drinking is so easy to do. So then I can sit on my ass and play video games and be content, you know, with the night. And so anywho, so that's just, you know, me in a pinch. And so of course I'm going on a tangent. This trail actually kind of sucks. So it's been nice to actually vlog this. Hopefully this wind won't be getting into this Walmart phone. I have to keep switching hands because I get tired, but I buy Walmart phones because they cost me $200 and they last me longer than a $600 piece of crap phone. You drop it once and boom, it breaks. And so, so this trail I'm on, I mountain biked one time, and so if I can get that. So on this trail right here, when I was mountain biking one time, I fell to the left, and there's a little hill, and I knew there was a ton of cactus everywhere, and I'm like, well, this is gonna hurt. And again, this is when I was living life correctly and behaving myself. I barrel rolled into this whole patch. I had my shirt off too. I was almost buck naked, you know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. So I rolled down this hill, and somehow I fell in the middle of all this cactus, and I didn't get one prick. And I'm just like, thank God for that, because I have fallen in cactus actually when I was really young. on the ranch in Nebraska, and I think I fell on it with my arse, dude, and it hurt really, really bad when I was a kid. Remember my dad, hey, pull your pants down, I need to pull those pricks out. And so I had these pliers and just whoop, whoop, pulls them out. But the thing is, when you get hit by cactus that hard in the arse, it feels like the cactus is still in there, even when he pulls them all out. So you can imagine sitting down or doing other things after pulling 50 cactuses out of your rear end. So I know it's pretty awesome. I hope a lot of you have a good visual with that. So yeah, that's my birthday present to you for the day. But anyways, I'm trying to hike here and not breathe a lot. And I'll probably let you all go. So peace out, Girl Scout.